Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's Global Intelligence Update. And as always, we've got amazing guests joining us. And this week we've got Caroline Mohr. So let me tell you guys a bit more about Caroline if you don't know who she is. So get ready to witness an extraordinary life story as I introduce you to none other than the Swedish Caroline Mohr. This excellent speaker has been speaking to more than 100 organizations in 14 countries, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Caroline is a multi-champion with titles such as European and World Champion in Paragolf. She is the ambassador for Princess Charlene of Monaco Foundation, former golf professional, NLP trainer, and a school sponsor in South Africa. Her recognized work has caught the attention of Royal King Charles XVI Gustav of Sweden. But what makes Caroline unique is her personal story and positive approach to always realize possibilities. Caroline has lived through a number of turmoils, but has proven to rise above the obstacles and continue to make a significant impact, positive impact on people's lives, giving our audience a truly one-of-a-kind experience. So buckle up and get ready for a truly inspiring journey of inner strength and resilience. Welcome, Caroline.
Thank you so much, Chris, and thank you so much for having me as a speaker for your Circle of Excellence community. It is so great to meet all of you, and I was so excited as we just logged in here, 1 minute in the call, and we just had 4 continents in the call already. So this is really amazing that you're all here. So welcome. If it's morning, if it's evening, if it's in the middle of the night, welcome to you. As Chris said, I'm Caroline Mohr from Sweden, and today I've chosen to speak about a topic that is very close to my heart, and that is resilience and the ability to master your mindset through change. And you might be thinking right now, Caroline looks really young. How did she harness that intelligence of resilience? And I'll tell you that because I chose to spend my time in the area of resilience and mindset is because I was faced with dramatic life experiences that made me not only had to reevaluate what I think about life, but had to make me shift my identity, my whole belief system, and made me position myself on a much more profound level. So I hope with this session today, that where I will share my journey of how I did this, and I will also share with you some ideas and tools that I've used. And my hopes are that you can take these tools, get inspired, integrate them into your life, remake them to fit yourself. So you walk out of the session feeling empowered, reminded of everything you know, and also inspired to get going. And first of all, I would like to do a little check-in to get everybody in the call active. And that is first to think about for yourself what resilience means for you. So think about what resilience means for you and how that is for you in your life to be resilient. What does that mean for you? By definition, resilience means the ability to bounce back. And I'm very curious how easy you found it to bounce back from change or a challenge or something that required that extra of you. And if you were to share in the chat a number between 1 and 10, where 1 is, I find it super tricky to be resilient, and 10, this is like a walk in the park. Where would you say that you are? Between 1 and 10, as a check-in in the chat, please share, we'll see. So we have a 3, a Sean, 7, we have an 8, 7. People say that I'm a 9 or 10. Oh, that's great. So we have a bit of external feedback coming in there as well. That's amazing. And in my work as a speaker, now for 12 years, as Chris said, speaking for multiple organizations in different countries, I've also been very curious to see what is it that people that are very good, and they're basically masters in being resilient in change, and they have the ability to turn what others call this is impossible into a possibility. They have the ability to turn that obstacle into something great and a chance. What is it that they do? And I've witnessed from my perspective a recipe, a successful recipe that they do. And I will share this recipe with you today. But before I do that, I would like you to take you with me on my journey. And my journey starts in 2011. I just opened the letter. I could feel my hands really shaking from excitement because I knew already what this letter was all about. It had that thickness to it. It was addressed in a very sophisticated way. And I felt on the quality of the paper that this was something extra. I could no longer stand still, but I jumped up and down as I ripped up that paper and I read it out loud. I have become golf professional. It was like a million of butterflies just exploded in my stomach, and the joy had no boundaries. Finally, over 10 years of work, commitment, and truly sacrifices for that dream, I had reached my North Star. That North Star that every night I look up upon from my bed and dream about and think of, and now it's finally here. Life is about to start. And maybe you've been there too. You've been standing in that space where you've fulfilled something, or you've taken a step, or you've taken that first step towards something. The joy, the celebration is huge in that moment. And you know that you're on the way and you're on the go towards your dreams. So my life had just started. I was ready to go on tour. That's when change was a fact. A change that was going to come into my life and turn it 180 degrees around. I was not prepared at all. I walked towards the big brick wall building. The sun gazed from the sky and warmed my back. I heard the small stones under my footsteps as I quickly walked through those two big sliding doors. The hot air came in from the reception. I saw two ladies in the reception, people walking in the corridors with those typical plastic shoes that makes this squeaking sound. They all had documents or white coats or green coats on themselves. I walked 2 floors down, and you can probably imagine where I was. I was at the hospital, but just to check up my swollen knee that has been a bit troubled in my golf commitment and in my golf training. I was just on the way to my doctor to kill the last worries. So I sat down on that chair in front of him, and he didn't even hesitate for 2 seconds until he said, "Caroline, we have found cancer in your knee. And this cancer type cannot be treated with chemotherapy or radiation. The only thing we can do in order to save your life is to amputate your leg above the knee. And we have to do this within 3 weeks." What? 3 weeks? Amputation? Cancer? I tried to fit the words into my mouth, but they were too big. They were too filled with change, and there was no way I could even pronunciate them. Did this really happen to me? I took a second look at my doctor just to see, oh, he's joking, right? He's joking. No, he's not joking. And that sank in. And there and then, my future was like a mirror crushed to the floor, and my dream in thousands of pieces. There was nothing left to live for anymore. As traumatizing and dramatic you think this might have been, you are right. I didn't see any future in that moment. Not at all. I had to take a couple of breaths. And in one of those pauses, where I just stopped and breathed, I heard two words in my head. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Is that a lot of time? No, it's not a lot of time. I need to act now. From what I've seen, working with individuals and organizations and their people all around the globe, is that people who are very good at embracing change, at being resilient and mastering their mindset, they do one thing first. They are incredibly good at making sure their mindset is on a high level. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they have beliefs and thoughts that support them. They make sure that they can select out, where is my demon right now, my demon thought that maybe says, you are not cut out for this, you don't have what it takes, or you've never done this before, how are you supposed to know? You know, all of those thoughts that can live inside our head sometimes. But they are very good at selecting those thoughts out and questioning them, and actually reframe what the situation and the change mean. And I believe that you are familiar with reframing in one or another way in your work, in your life, in your business, in your private life. And there are different ways to do reframing, which basically means that you change your experience of a certain situation. So I'm curious, do you all hear me right now? Because I got a notification that my microphone has changed, but you all hear me? Okay, great, awesome. So there is this way to do reframing, which is super effective from what I found, to change something that is very negative in the first side to an opportunity and a chance. And I'll just let you check in with that feeling. How possible do you think it is to flip a situation that is tough and difficult to an opportunity and a possibility? How possible do you think that is? Just check in with yourself. And if you were able to do that, hard, okay, so hard, Sean, okay, that's hard. But if you were able to do that and flip that situation into a possibility, how much more would you get out of life? And how much less stress would you have? Challenging, but often possible. And this is the thing, this is not really rocket science. And I know you have experiences of dealing with challenges, dealing with change. You have amazing strategies that you've already implemented, automatic responses to change. And these insights can awake that forgotten information, but it can also wake new insights within you. And to do reframing, I used one question, one efficient question that is able to extract the possibilities out of the situation. A question that points to possibilities, and a question that will allow me to feel completely different. So I used the golden question. What if life is happening for you and not to you? What's the gift? And maybe you think Caroline is just incredible crazy right now. How can there be a gift with the situation? And I can honestly tell you that I heard nothing when I asked myself this question. Nothing at all. There was no answers. So I kept asking myself this question again. What if life is happening for you right now, Caroline, and not to you? What's the gift? What if this situation allows me to get a different perspective? What if this situation allows me to jump into other shoes? What if this situation or change allows me to step into my client's shoes and understand their needs better? What if this situation allows me to open up my solution-focused mind and create amazing products and services out of this moment? So I love that you love this question, and you can directly take that question, implement that into your life. You can remake that question, just make sure that it's pointing towards possibilities, that it feeds you this experience that you want. And this is, you know, with everything in life, this is about practice, to reframe something. But once you train your mind to look at the possibilities, you will be able to see possibilities in the hardest and difficult of situations. So really, the big possibilities with this moment was that I was never going to pay full price again for foot care. I was also going to enjoy VIP parking, and I was going to skip, maybe the most important for a traveling speaker and a consultant, I was going to skip all those long queues at the airport like this. Reframing and remaking that situation for me was a game changer, because I was then getting access to infinite energy, and I could start to point out for myself what are the activities, what are the milestones that I want to reach and do now to prepare myself in the best possible way for this big transformation. And if you were to use this golden question in your life, where would you use it right now? Maybe you have a challenge. Maybe you just want to curious to see if you can find more possibilities in a situation that you're in. Where would you use it? Just think about that. And if you want to, write it in the chat. It was about 5 days after my surgery, and I was still lying in the hospital bed, in that hard bed with those very thin and too washed blankets. I had my surgery done, and I was thinking about, as I looked out the window, how my future would look like. I was thinking about what I wanted to do next. I was thinking about my dream and my new North Star. And this is the moment when I got the chance to go to the rehabilitation room for the first time. I jumped after a nurse, came into that room with the green floors, big mirrors on the wall, a lot of materials and balls. And in the corner, believe it or not, there were standing something shiny, a golf club. I have no idea what they did with the golf club in that hospital, but I took it in my hand, dropped the crutches to the floor, and 5 days after my surgery, did my first golf swing in the rehabilitation room. It was without a ball. It was without speed. It was without too much technique. But I knew in that golf swing what was the most powerful golf swing in my entire life. I knew that I could play golf again. I went back to the hospital bed, closed my eyes, and I started to think about the green fields, the perfectly cut courses. I thought about the flags, the red flags waving in the wind. I felt the wind blowing in my face. I gripped the golf club, breathed in, and hit the ball. I thought about my teammates. I thought about the tournaments. And I took a decision that I want to play a professional golf tournament 2.5 months after my surgery. I took a picture of myself swinging up that golf club, sent it to my coach, and told him. He called me back in 2 seconds and said, Caroline, how much morphine did you get at the hospital? but I had already started to dream. My dream was already in motion, and it was all going in my head. I didn't do anything outside that hospital room than dreaming and visualizing about what I want. And I'm sure you know this as well, that the powerful technique of visualization is actually so powerful that our brain cannot distinguish if you actually look at a glass of water or if you're visualizing and thinking of a glass of water. The brain will register the pictures equally, which just means that at our fingertips, we have the most incredible power to start building the neurology in the right direction to start manifesting new things that we want with the help of visualization. And there are numerous of research made on this. Like they've seen basketball teams that were going to do free throws. They divided the team in two, took one half of the team that were just allowed to visualize the free throw. And they were visualizing when they made it successfully all the time. The other part of the team, they were able to just practice, but they didn't tell them to visualize, but just to practice physically. And at the end of this example, they brought the team together and they examined who can perform better. And they saw that the team with the visualization power was actually able to deliver more successful free throws than the team who had just practiced. And I know this is a sport example, but if you were to take this to your daily reality, where could you visualize even more if you're not already doing it today? Visualize presentations, visualize meetings, visualize products and services you want to create. Visualize how you want to feel on a daily basis. Visualize what you want to have more of in your life. Where could you visualize to just create even better conditions for yourself? And I thought, because this is the Circle of Excellence community, that I have prepared a visualization exercise for you, where you get to experience one of my visualization exercises. And you get to discover, you get to enjoy, and be present with your North Star, what you desire, what you want, what you long for. And if you want to take part in this exercise, you can just follow my voice, and this will take no more than 5 minutes. You need to sit or stand in a place where you won't be disturbed. And you can't do this meanwhile driving, but I don't think that anyone who checked in here today are driving. But if you drive, don't do this exercise. We don't want to have any accidents. And if you haven't done anything like this before, I invite you to bring that inner magician of yours out and just allow yourself to be as open and curious as you possibly can. Okay, so we can just do like a hand raise. You can turn off your camera if you want, or you can keep it on, everybody that has them on. But just do like a hand raise that you are ready. And when I see, okay, we got some hands up in the air, great. Then let's go. Awesome. So what you can start by doing is just take a couple of breaths, get yourself centered, grounded, close your eyes. And as you do, you can just notice how your whole body starts to relax even more with every breath you take. And allow yourself to leave the to-do list on the side, and everything else in your life is on pause for a little while, and this is your moment. So imagine that it is in the middle of the night and you're sitting beneath a sky full of stars. It is dark, but the place is not frightening you. The light from all the thousands of stars brings calm and peace. Look up at the stars on the sky and imagine their light and reflections. Notice how they form together on the beautiful dark background and how they twinkle. Become aware of the sounds you hear when you take in the big sky full of stars. Is it silent? Do you hear any other sounds right now? Just enjoy the view of all the beautiful stars on the sky above you. Suddenly, you notice one star that shines brighter and much more intense than the others, the North Star. It is bigger and solid on the sky. Rest your eyes on the North Star for a moment and notice how it draws you in, how it shows its wisdom and clarity. Imagine how the star suddenly brights up a road ahead of you. It's so light and intense that you can see the road reveal itself in front of you. You decide to experience this road. So you get up and start to walk down that path of light. This road is your road to the future, completely guided by your North Star. It stays by your side as you take the steps toward on this journey. Walk into the future and experience how you get access to a deeper wisdom, clarity, and collect valuable experiences as you go. Suddenly, you encounter a gift. A gift that is wrapped up in beautiful packing paper with a big knot on top. Your North Star shines its light on this gift in front of you, like it wants you to discover it. Decide to stop and open the gift. Peek inside and you notice 4 letters. 3 of them are addressed to you. The 4th one doesn't have a name on it. You start by opening one of the addressed letters. It is a thank you letter from your future self, thanking you for the effort you made by gaining so many valuable experiences and a greater understanding of yourself through this road. If you want, you can place your hands on your heart right now and thank yourself for the experiences you've made and the greater understanding and conscious you have of yourself. Open the next letter addressed to you and realize that it's a thank you letter from all the people who have been positively influenced by you. All the hearts you have touched along your journey. Place your hands again on your heart and thank yourself for all the positivity you have created and all the hearts you have touched. Now open the last addressed letter. You realize this message is from your North Star, thanking you for having stepped into your true self and your highest potential. Thanking you for having listened to your passion, your call, and your purpose. Thanking you for having paid attention to listen to your truth. Thank yourself with your hands on your heart, making this possible for yourself, and that you allowed yourself to be guided by your North Star. Open the last letter in the box, which doesn't have a name on it. This is a letter for you to define for yourself what your North Star is all about, and address this letter to you. What dream have you already accomplished being in this space? What is your North Star about? Is it about living with more presence, where the dream is to have a fantastic relationship with your partner? Is your North Star about sharing your intelligence so others can grow with a dream to take the next step in your career? Is your North Star about constant growth and education with a dream to continue beyond your wildest imagination? Or is your North Star about making space and prioritize your health so you can live your dream of being healthy? Listen to your inner intelligence and notice the message you receive. Notice that you don't have to search for the answers. Let them come to you. Trust the process, your inner magician, and let these words define what your North Star is about. Imagine how the words are being put down as you do this on this letter, and that it is addressed to you. When you have put down the words, seal the letter and place it in the box again, knowing that it's now written in the stars. It's clear. Turn around and look at this road you walked up to this point, fulfilling your dream and following your North Star. You know what's true for you and how that feels now when you're living as your true self. Start to walk back to the place you come from, knowing that you have defined your dream, aligned yourself to your North Star, and having so much already to be thankful for. Notice the experience you carry and the milestones reached as you walk back to the place you come from. As you arrive, pay attention to the feeling you have of having done this exercise, of having connected to an inner intelligence of yours. And once you're back, you can open your eyes and come back here. The van was pulling up to the parking lot. The red flags was waving in the wind. I opened the door and immediately heard the other golfers just hitting shots on the driving range. The hair on my arms stood straight up as I knew I had arrived. I was with my team 2.5 months after my surgery. In my goal, I was going to play my first professional event. The truth was, I had no idea how I was going to play it. But leading up to those 2.5 months, I had been lying on the sofa at home, doing visualization practices, seeing myself actually focusing on my 29 muscles under my foot, not focusing on the other leg that was missing. And I was playing with my sister that day. What happened was that we was in a complete presence. And we played the best golf of all the professionals in Sweden. I played my best golf that I have ever played on one leg, and it was better than on two. And we won that tournament, my sister and I. When the conditions doesn't seem at all how we think they should be, that's usually when people get very suspicious if something will work, if something will really be possible to accomplish, if that change will be possible, or if we are going to be able to provide this to our clients or partners. But maybe that's exactly when we're giving the opportunity to step out of our thinking, gain a new perspective, that we can actually get new solutions. And what if that thought would be more integrated, that thought of possibilities? How much more would that give you in your life? This team that I had, that was the best community to make this comeback, because this was not a one-woman show. This was not something that I could accomplish completely alone. So what worked for me was, with the help of the team, reframe what this change mean, and discover that it was so many different possibilities that came with this change. It helped to gain an elevated feeling through an experience such as visualization, because when I have an elevated feeling about my life, I am much more in charge to take better decisions. So the reframing, the feeling, the high frequency feeling, and thirdly, it was to be in the presence and play with what you have. These experiences have today collected itself to become this recipe of how you become more resilient and master your mindset in change. But it did lead me to something else. And I want to tell you that story is that when something presents itself for you, it can't just mean that another door is being opened. Since this, I have been going into keynote speaking, and I didn't think in my wildest imaginations that I would love to do presentations as much as I do today. But it seems that all of those experiences were valuable possibilities where I could extract insights that I could use in my speaking. And maybe it's that when we look at life like this, all the life lessons that we are given, all the challenges, all the changes, when we look at them from a different light, maybe we are actually able to reinvent what we're doing and reinvent ourselves at every single stage. So I would love to connect with you more, of course, in the Facebook group. I would love to hear from you and the insights that you've gained from this speech. If you were to take, and Chris is putting this in the chat right now, a link to my LinkedIn. If you made a new insight, if you've been reminded of something that you know, if you got a new idea through the speech, you're also very welcome to share that in the chat, of course. And I want to thank you so much for having checked in and listening to me during this speech today. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Caroline. It was really amazing, very inspirational, and honestly, I didn't know that about you, and I'm pretty sure the people that are listening also didn't know that. So thank you for sharing.
Thank
Are
you.
you open to any questions, if there
Yes,
are any?
yes, that I should have said as well.
No, it's all good. So if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself or even just put it in the chat, and
Yeah,
Caroline can answer that for you.
exactly. It's so great to see all of you coming in here. And thank you so much, Brenda. Thank you, Stephanie, Philip, Adila. Oh, great. I'm so happy to see that to my purpose. That's great. Do you have any question, Chris, or any thought or idea or insight?
It was pretty amazing, I have to say. I'm a little bit stunnstruck. Like I said, Caroline, I didn't know that about you. So thank you for
Great to
sharing.
surprise you this morning.
Yeah. I see Adila's got a message here. Thank you. I needed clarity as I am on a crossroad in my life. Wow, that's awesome. Awesome stuff. So definitely connect with Caroline on LinkedIn, you guys. Looks like we don't have any questions. Sahaja says, sorry to have checked in so late. I will have to catch up the replay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll put the replay in or up on the group within the next hour or two. And the podcast will then also be available for anyone that's on the go. Don't have the tools to watch the video. You can listen to it as well.
Exactly. That sounds lovely. It was great to be here this morning. I need to get back to doing visualization. That's great. Awesome. And also, we could drop a link to that replay. Chris, I have a link to that visualization that I did, which is recorded, that you can also, if you want to use that one and just press play, we could put that link in there as well for the replay.
Yeah, that would be great.
Great.
Awesome. So it looks like there's no questions coming. Just want to remind you guys, connect with Caroline. We put the link in the chat. And oh, here's a comment from Adila.
Oh,
What I
yeah.
found amazing was the download that came through simply by the relaxation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so powerful. That download of that inner intelligence, that is so great. Wow. Or from the universe or from wherever, but that download. So great.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank you,
Merci.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. And I hope everyone has a great week ahead. Those that are listening on the replay and those that are live, thank you very much. And we'll definitely see you guys again next week.
Great. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.